Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peterisms, where I tell stories of my life and just little things that I have learned as I have grown into the person that I am today. And in doing my meditations this morning, this afternoon, I got up a little bit late today. I stayed up rather late last night watching The Lincoln Lawyer on Netflix. It's really, really good. And it's actually a show that talks a lot about recovery and addiction as well. So if you're somebody that's interested in that, they kind of weave it through the show. I don't know, for those of you that might have seen The Killing back in the day, that was on AMC, and then they did the final season, I think on Netflix. There's 4 seasons total, and one of the homicide detectives was in recovery. And so the way that they kind of wove that storyline of recovery through the story is the same way that in The Lincoln Lawyer they do it as well. And it's kind of like right in the first episode they get into that. So it's interesting how they do that. I won't ruin any of it for you, but if you're looking for a new show to watch, I would highly recommend The Lincoln Lawyer. Okay, so I saved 2 of my meditation books to read on here today. I saved The Meditations for Living in Balance, Daily Solutions for People Who Do Too Much by Ann Wilson Sheff. This has become one of my favorite meditation books. And then I also saved The Language of Letting Go. So if we get to that, I don't know if we're going to get to that. Here is the meditation for May 19th in the Meditations for Living in Balance. Working fun. Working is more fun than sitting around worrying about money. Pete. Oh, that's interesting. The quote's from Pete. The other day, a group of us were sitting around talking about the various jobs we've had when we were younger and how much fun we'd had with them. We started out with working during college stories. A couple of us had worked as nurses' aides in hospitals. We recounted the late night shift on a wing for old nuns, and the satisfaction we felt in learning to distinguish the sound of each individual bell as the old women summoned help in the middle of the night. We shared a flying nun story when 2 of us had had a wild and noisy time with a huge floor waxer that took possession of us for a brief moment. Our shrieks of laughter disturbed the head nun. We tried to get ourselves under control so we could hear the approach of the stiff, white, starched habit descending upon us from down the hall. With absolutely no innocence at all, when reprimanded, we said that we did not know how to use the floor waxer. We had already had the experience of being flung around by it. She took the bait, saying that it couldn't possibly be that hard. To our delight, she grabbed the handles, ordering us to plug in the cord. The result, a flying nun. By this time, patients and staff had gathered. We were told to pull the plug and forget the incident, as obviously I have. In the course of that recent conversation, we remembered what fun we had in various jobs, from waitressing to emptying bedpans, and we were reminded how much fun working can be. Let yourself reminisce about the fun you had with jobs in times past. I really like this meditation. You know, it's like, I think especially, I worked in a treatment facility for 13 years, and the majority of the people, with I think the exception of 2, that on the team that I worked in, we had a team that, you know, at any given time was 10 people, and some came and some went. You know, I'm still in contact with quite a few of those people. And it's funny when we talk to each other on the phone, and, you know, we talk about the good times and, the things. Anyway, it just, to reminisce about those times, I think. And, that was a really meaningful time in my life. That was a time that, I don't know, I look back on it with fondness. Not every day was great, obviously, but there were a lot. And, I think this is also a reason why I returned to making YouTube videos, because I enjoy so much connecting with you guys and just, sharing stories of my life and talking about things and doing reviews on my review channel and having an opinion on my drama channel and just vlogging and talking and all that kind of stuff. I just enjoy it so much that there's so much fun that I find. There's so much pleasantry that I find in making videos in a way that I never really thought I would have, when I started YouTube. I don't even really know how to explain it. I think back often on, it's been 6 years since I've been on YouTube. I started YouTube on my BookTube channel 6 years ago last week. And I don't know what I expected from it. I definitely did not expect to continue to be on it 6 years down the road. I definitely didn't expect to have all the channels that I have, or the interactions with the people that watch my channels and all of that. I didn't expect any of that, I think I expected to kind of do it for a while and then maybe grow bored of it, and but at least I had tried. I'm kind of the attitude that if there's something that I'm interested in, that I at least need to try it, and so I think that's kind of what I thought. Did I ever think that it would turn into something that I love to do and what I consider my career today? No, I never thought that, and there's been highs and there's been lows, and there's been all kinds of stuff, and me trying to, figure out what I want to do next on a channel or whatnot. And, and looking at all of that, I was like, I really, really miss this, and I'm happy to be back. So I think, so many of us, when we're in it, when we're going to work every day, and I know I have friends of mine that have, horrendous jobs and stand on their feet all day long and just really, really struggle, and they have to encounter a lot of like really nasty people, that they, and I get that, right? And I have friends of mine that work 2 and 3 jobs. And, but I think to try to have a positive attitude, I've always said this, like back in the day, it's like the people that you are spending time with working, you're spending really more time with those people than you are your family and friends. You're working with them 40 to 50 hours a week if you're working full time, right? So it's like to try to find, some people that you get along with at work, or, at least try to go into it every day. I know it's a struggle for a lot of people, and a lot of people don't have options. They're like, well, I can't leave my job, and I hate my job, and it's difficult, but I need to pay the bills. And I get that, right? And I don't know. It's like if maybe we can find one small thing about our day or the work that we do that we enjoy, then we can maybe focus on that, and, look at it with some fondness. So I thought that was a real good meditation. Let me see what this meditation is about in the language of letting go. This is my favorite book, favorite meditation book. Let's see, May 19th, Solving Problems, May 19th. Shame is the first feeling that strikes me whenever I or someone I love has a problem, said one recovering woman. Many of us were raised with the belief that having a problem is something to be ashamed of. This belief can do many damaging things to us. It can stop us from identifying our problems. It can make us feel alienated and inferior when we have, or someone we love has, a problem. Shame can block us from solving a problem and finding the shift from the problem. Problems are a part of life. So are solutions. People have problems, but we and our self-esteem are separate from our problems. I've yet to meet a person who didn't have problems to solve, but I've met many who felt ashamed to talk about the problems they actually had solved. We are more than our problems. Even if our problem is our own behavior, the problem is not who we are, it's what we did. It's okay to have problems. It's okay to talk about problems at appropriate times and with safe people. It's okay to solve problems. And we're okay even when we have or someone we love has a problem. We don't have to forfeit our personal power or our self-esteem. We have solved exactly the problems we've needed to solve to become who we are. Today, I will let go of my shame about problems. Early on in sobriety, one of the things that I learned was that shame and blame accomplish absolutely nothing. And so those were emotions that I had to resist against and find more effective ways of dealing with what I felt inside. That's not to say that at 27 and a half years sober, I don't still deal with, on a daily basis, shame or blame. I absolutely 100% do. But what I've learned is that, like it says at the end of this meditation, is to have people that are safe to talk to about that. And to have people, ask for help in situations that, it's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to feel. And be honest with them and say, and share, like, this is what I'm feeling. This is, I'm feeling this emotion or I'm feeling that emotion. And whether it's shame or blame, no matter what emotion we're going through, I'm angry, I'm worried, I'm scared. I think so much of what we do in life is based on fear. And I know that is for me true, but these emotions are emotions that aren't helping us and they aren't helping anybody else either, And so it's really, for me today, asking for help from people in my support network, my sponsor, my therapist, my best friend, my husband, and talking to them about what's going on. And some days, like, it's just about needing to, maybe you need to vent and just get out what's going on and feel heard. You know, other days you really do need solutions. You really do need somebody on the outside looking in to say, have you ever thought about this? Or have you ever thought about that? Or even just an offer a different point of view, you know, and say, I don't know if you've seen it this way, but maybe looking on the other side, you could see it from this way. Maybe walk around in somebody else's shoes for a while, you know? And I know for me, that's been really, really helpful through the years, to see things from other people's perspectives. And also, I think the most important thing I've learned in my life, well, not the most important thing I've learned, but is to ask for help, you know? When I'm, you know, feeling these emotions, is to reach out. You know, I always, like today, I start with my sponsor. I reach out to my sponsor and I tell her what's going on in my head and whatever, and you know, she's so helpful, but then she usually says, you know, like, talk to this person or talk to that person or take it to your therapist or, you know, like, talk to Alex or, you know, your husband or whatever about it. And so I think it's about that, you know, it's about realizing what emotions are standing in the way of our emotional growth. What emotions are, and emotions are fine. It's like, you can have your feelings, right? You can feel your feelings. But at what point do they stand in the way of helping you become the person that you want to be and continuing to grow? And that's what it's all about to me. So anyway, let me know what you think about those meditations. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.